Hey YouTube, it's Thursday, February 7th, 2019. Um, they pushed that anti-BDS law through, had a State of the Union address, which was very well written. It was very well written. Um, it, it made the Democrats stand up and clap for Donald Trump a whole lot. It had the women Democrats, the suffragettes, dancing. Democrats. For Trump. Women. It took the narrative we've been given and it used all the high points and it did a good job. On that aspect, good State of the Union address. Some of the facts that it used, the narrative, total BS. Lies. But didn't even mention anti-BDS. Didn't mention that we just took a step down off the food chain. Talk about make America first. And we just signed over sovereignty. This has been coming down the tracks for a very long time. Alright? Public scrutinizes our society, scrutinizes anybody that questions anything. The story that we're given, if it were true, that would be the cause. Look outside. That would be the effect. Well, the story we're given couldn't possibly have the world this screwed up. Alright? Everything's cause and effect. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if all these rainbows and marshmallows and candy canes came washing down, how the hell do we get this big pile of steaming crap outside? The narrative is not true. Everything that we've been taught about whole Western culture. They don't mention Tartary. Admittedly, the maps aren't right. And you're not allowed to say anything about it. You know, I'm all for cultural unity. I'm all for neighborhood unity. I don't care what culture you come from. If you live in the neighborhood, we should all be together. Simple as that. Because when it comes down to it, your neighbors, that's what you got. That's your militia. You know? But we don't even know each other. And then you look at you follow it back to the root where it starts, and then you're called an anti-Semitic. Not anti-Semitic. I'm not. I'm anti the assholes that are in charge of Israel. Right? I'm anti the Zionist fools. I'm anti-Zionist Israeli. I am. Because they're anti-life. They're anti-freedom. They're anti-pursuit of happiness. They're definitely anti-domestic tranquility. Except for them. Except for them. You know? Anytime. The only culture on this planet that only associate with each other They only shop at their stores because it's kosher. They only go to their specific butchers, specific farms, specific dairies, specific, because it's kosher. They're allowed to do it. It's cool, no matter where they live. And they own the majority of stores for the rest of us. The same people that only shop at their own stores that pay back into their own community also own the stores in our community. And if you try to shop at a store that has nothing to do with them, you're anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic doesn't even mean what people think it means. It doesn't. Semitic, the root for Semitic is just a language. It's a group of languages, goes back Sumerian, all the way back there. It was a group of languages. All right? So people Arabic is Semitic. Hebrew is Semitic. Alright? So there goes that whole. Alright? Abraham and Isaac. Elijah. Oh, Semitic. Don't matter which way you go in the tree, it's Semitic. But I'm an anti-Semite because I don't want to give them any money. I don't want them to own our shit. No. I'm American. They want to own everything. Well, we want to own something. I don't want to own everything. I want to own what I own. I want to own what I earn. I want to own what I work for. God gave us dominion over the earth and the animals. Gave it to us. Gave it to us. And then a group of people stole it, and now we're making us pay for it. They're making us pay to enjoy it. All these technologies that came from the human brain, from his creation, those people invented the money that took it from you. They created the money and built that obstacle and put the fence around us with the money. The human intellect designed and made all these things. And then our governors stole them. And then charge us to use them. Our tax dollars pay for our streets. Alright? Every week your paycheck gets deducted and a certain amount of your paycheck goes to that. Times that by 350 million. Alright? And my street looks like what the surface of the moon is supposedly like. You can lose a small car in some of them holes out there. But my taxes are paying for it. My taxes are paying for potholes. Right? They got toll roads all over the country, right? Cost you $10.50, $11, sometimes up to $17.50 to drive down the road, right? Your tax dollars are paying for that road. And then they're charging you $10 a car to drive down it again. And there's potholes all over them. You don't notice the scam. It's illegal to tax us. They can, however, request that we put money into a fund to help our infrastructure. Well, that's what our tax dollars are supposed to be doing. Keeping our infrastructure structurally sound. Well, guess what? Our whole infrastructure in this country is crumbling because they've been stealing all of the money and building their home, wherever the hell it's at. Because they sure as shit ain't fixing our streets. They own it. And they're keeping all of our tax money. Unconstitutional tax money. Alright? I break away. I don't want to give them any money. I try to buy American. You're anti-Semitic. Now, if you try to not have any Jew-owned or Israeli-owned products in your store, you're done. You're done. You can't. They could put any product they want in your store. And I'm telling you, the Anti-Defamation League and BDS and all them anti-Semitic, all them lawyers, they're going to beat you into the ground and you're going to have all them Jew products in your store. Because you don't have enough money to fight them. And everybody knows it. They don't care. They print the money. They could just go print more and hand it to you. Here you go. Here's the lawyers. Here, pay every lawyer $1 trillion. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go home and print more. You don't think they're doing that? Then how did our money lose 98% in 25 years? 98% in 25 years. 98% value. Fiat currency. That's what we got. Our money ain't worth shit. We used to get $1.79 when I was a kid. We went to Canada. All right, we went to Niagara Falls. We got $1.79 for every $1 US. Now you can't get 49 cents. Make America great again. Got to start somewhere. Okay. Well, how about not signing over our rights to Israel? How about that? I don't want to be an anti-Semite. You know what I want? I want the same thing they have, but I want it for us. I don't see anything wrong with a bunch of white guys who want to have something for themselves. I don't see nothing wrong with a bunch of black guys who want to have something for themselves. I don't see nothing wrong with a bunch of Chinese guys who want to have something for themselves. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But them Zionists do. They're the only ones that are allowed to do that. They're killing Muslims in record numbers. Why? Because they shop halal, which is kosher. But they're not allowed to do that. Only the Jews are allowed to do that. And if you think you're going to, well, they're going to drop bombs on you. You know why? They print the money that buys the bombs. They print the money for everywhere except North Korea and Iraq. Why are we always at war with them? Why? Because they don't bow down. Neither did we. It was a little bite here and a little bite there we gave them. We just handed them the apple. With that anti-BDS law. We just gave it all away. We flipped our cards over. Playing with our cards facing the table. And nobody seems to see it. When Hummers and tanks are driving down our street, just like they drive down Israeli streets, all day, people walking around with AK-47s in an M16 country. We'll see. You're going to see people walking down the streets that ain't carrying M16s. Our military carries M16s. But the United Nations Army doesn't. Their military don't. The United Nations military carries Heckler and Koch. Alright? What's the other one? The PPK or whatever the hell it is. Sig Sauer. Why is most of our military using Sig Sauer weapons? Our elite, our Green Berets, our Navy SEALs, our Special Forces, our Delta Force, they're using Sig Sauer. Smith & Wesson and Remington are way better weapons. Way better. Way more reliable. Sig Sauers are finicky. They're delicate. They're fragile. They're 5 times as expensive. They're Swedish. No, Swiss. They're Swiss. Yeah, that's right. Switzerland. They're Swiss. The Octagon. That's where they're made, in Octagon, Switzerland. Near Geneva. Where the bank is. Zurich? Yeah, up there. The neutral country that makes more weapons than any other European country. Glock. Glock got started with Swiss money. Glock means the bell. The Glock. Glocka. The bell. Rings like a bell. The world just went to hell in a handbasket. And everybody's watching kittens and playing Candy Crush. Or whatever the new saga is. I don't know. I don't have Facebook anymore. So. It's scary. But it's the reality. War and battle I could deal with. Could handle that. It's waiting at the edge of one that I can't avoid and can't prevent. Now that's hard to handle. And, well, let's talk. It's the way I see it.